Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1143, titled, Holy Nights. This chapter is pretty much a follow-up of the last chapter, which I did review on Tuesday, and I said I'd try and do a review today, and I'm doing so, which follows up the events of the last chapter in which, the school is attacked by giant monsters. We learn there are a few new members of the teacher staff, including that the Walrus School is actually based on the actual principal, who is a walrus. So we've got that. So let's see. We got Loki unleashing his power through his hammer, demanding that Hadruden and Luffy and their crew and their respective crews unleash him before Elbaf gets destroyed. And then we learn that the Gods Knights, to start the conflict of Elbaf is by creating monsters from the dreams of children. So arguably, and we get an awesome double panel spread of all these different types of monsters. So arguably building up a bit of hype for the Gods Knights, if you will, as they managed to create a monster army, which seems like it could be a bit of trouble. Let's see. Anyway, before we begin that, we've got the double-colored spread in which the Straw Hats, once again in sort of rainbow color. Let's see, at least six of the 7 rainbow colors, if you will. Where we see the Straw Hats on flying fish with Luffy red, Zoro blue with Chop on his back, Nami, yellow or orange, if you will, Sanji green, Frankie pink, purple, I guess, with Usopp on his back, and Robin orange or maybe yellow, depending on the color scheme. I'm going to maybe guess yellow, with Brock playing music on it, while Jinbei is just swimming in the sort of water. So it's like a racetrack with flying fishermen. You basically got Luffy and Zoro, Luffy in the lead with Zoro hot on his tail, Nami just sticking her tongue, enjoying herself, Sanji being love-struck, wanting to serve Nami, Usopp shouting out in the sky as Frankie's concentrating, and Block just playing music while Robin is just having a nice cup of tea, having a nice drink, which I assume she got from Sanji, and Jinbei being sort of if I had to guess, maybe the possible referee in that. Anyway, it's a nice little flying cover. Oda likes to use the sort of these types of colors with the Straw Hats, so it's nice to see here again. Luffy's color makes sense, though. You'd think Zoro would be the green one and Sanji the blue one, but I guess Oda decided to change it up a bit. But either way, it's a fun little sort of a racing type of color spread. And you also got a little tube that says speed is the weapon. So that's basically what we got of that little cover. Anyway, I'm just about more or less done with it. Anyway, on to the actual chapter itself. The chapter begins with Sol running up to Yaval, telling her to wait, calling out the names of the other students, which is Yaval, Mag, Ronja, realizing that they're all sleepwalking, and I'm wondering what's this white cloth that they are going, as it seems like they I can't tell if that means that for some reason either their clothes are all completely going, or he's talking about the arrow that's right next to them, but who knows, I might be confused. I might be being a bit confused here. Anyway, Robin ends up just saying Sol to be careful, reminding him what the teacher said about not touching the children, and Chopper pointing out that it was all bloody as a result. Sol understands that, but he doesn't see anything wrong with them, and that it'll be dangerous for them to keep walking as they are. So he tries to grab Yaval, trying to get them to back to school, but spikes all come out of around her, injuring Sol. One of them stabbing Sol's hand. He feels the pain. He tips it over. With the others just shocked by what has just happened. as we get the announcement to like to the Giants where it says this is the Walrus School. All the children have suddenly fallen asleep. I believe it's Angie who is calling it out, where she says that, and out of those, 9 of them are having started walking and don't know where they're going. As you get to the west village, where you see Dougie and Bruggy and a few of the other giants going like listening in, as you get more about it, saying it's not clear why this is happening. All the giant parents start panicking about all the kids at school. See some of them talking about how their son's there. And concerned about the monsters, wondering if their children are safe. As the announcer says, there's also a surge of strange monsters in the forest. And then we get this, transponder pill bug, which is apparently this unique sort of den mushy with this sort of round, roundish kind of like, how to describe it? This sort of hard round shell, if you will. Sort of like, I guess it's be like, it's got that pattern that looks like you could like, where bugs sort of like roll into it kind of thing. As the announcer says, the children are traveling down a branch, row 8 at the moment. Let's see. Now Amelia is thinking, and there's a fire too. What was that all of a sudden danger? With Jimbo wondering if did something happen back at the school. As you go like, you get like one of the giants looking out saying, did you say branch H? And it's like, it's not looking good over there. As Zhao's going like, oh no, that's where my granddaughterish's granddaughter Yava goes. And he's sounding all drunk while doing it, and some of the other giants going like, how many generations is that? Nami gets annoyed saying, I think you had enough to drink, and Brock says, yeah, you should get it together, as it seems Brock is oh so drunk, and he still has his sort of like head below where his groin is, if you will. And then you get like a ship flying quickly with the people celebrating, yes, that's quick work, as it's revealed to be the firefighting Sava eyes on the case as they shout out. People say, you got this, firefighters, saying we're counting on you. She got these Elbaf giants, which all seem to be wearing these sort of, well, granted, slightly because of the black and white coloring, black Viking helmets with a bunch of cloths coming down. I wouldn't be surprised if they are red in the anime or something, or coloring. But yeah, they do so. But then suddenly, just as they're getting to the fire, something starts moving, and they realize, and they see a giant skeletal warrior from the dreams. They're all like, what's that? And then let's see, the giant skeletal warrior whacks the ship, shocking all the giants, sticking their tongues out, eyes out, going like, well, not Sun-Gon Nika like eyes out, but more like the standard like, what? That you tend to see in One Piece. Anyway, my thoughts on this part here. Let's see, we learn a few more of the kids' names, but granted, it's just not. It's not nothing to concern about, but it's not really something necessarily that I guess people would care, except for maybe like Yaval, as we just learned that she's actually the sort of great granddaughter of Javal. So it looks like he did end up having like offspring, and now it's like so many generations have passed that he now has a great granddaughter. Suppose it makes sense when he's like the oldest giant in the world. He's got 400. So yeah, let's see. It does make me wonder if that means that his wife that he once had, there was like, she was older than him. Though granted, she's probably passed away since he's regarded as the oldest giant. So that's an interesting information. Now, I do like how Chopper and Robin tried to warn Sol that, remember what the teacher said, but Sol just seems, well, granted, Sol's, Saul's been making a few quite of, I guess, questionable decisions. I guess, saying, "Oh, we don't need to get everyone involved in this," and it's like, "Oh, I gotta help them, even if it means let's see, help the children, even if it means, let's see, well, I guess I could, let's see, he has to lay like a Etsy hand to like get them to wake up to their senses, if you will, or touch them, if you will, but ends up getting sort of like the consequences. And I do like that we end up seeing that. Besides the arrow and the sleeping thing, we finally got, it seems like, the other ability of what is Saint Somers is that at least that it seems he's able to create thorns which surrounds and, let's see, stabs people if they try to touch like a certain person, if you will. So yeah. It's and from the sounds of, let's see, Saul's pain, it causes quite a fair share of damage, if you will. Anyway, I do like how Ange is like able to inform the school, and you get like everyone and the Giants taking it seriously, particularly Dorian and Brocky, even though they're probably one of the few Giants in Elbaf that did not have kids, probably due to the fact that they spent 100 years fighting each other, so to the death. So they haven't had time to really do that kind of thing. But yeah. Anyway, I do like how we got like a let's see, new Den Den Mushi. I don't know, let's see, this transponder Pillbug, what's special about this one, but it seems to be unique in Elbaf, which I assume it's a Dengen Mushi that's just fitting more for a giant size. I do like the shell design of it, though, at the very least. Granted, it seems a bit thinner compared to the other Denden Mushis, but who knows, but yeah. Anyway, I also like that I do like how let's see, you got like an army being annoyed by let's see, Joel, let's see, and the other giants getting like sort of drunk, but Brock is also just as drunk when also scolding them, so it's quite funny there. Let's see. I do like that Nami is like let's see, also pointing out like the fire, because it's like let's see, the weather is her specialty, if you will. Granted, she doesn't really deal with fire, but I wouldn't be surprised maybe with her weather abilities that she might be able to help put it out. We'll have to wait and see. But before we get that, speak of fire, we end up getting like a sort of like a new group. We get actually firemen in One Piece, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen firemen in One Piece before. I just know that despite the fact that there's so many buildings that get blown up by either Marines or pirates, you never really see firemen about, to be honest. I think this is the first time that we've actually seen, let's see, firemen of you. Of sorts of the what they called the firefighting Sava, but yeah, let's see. I think this is actually the first time, so in some ways the Giants of Elbaf are more ahead than a lot of the, let's see, citizens of the world, because let's see, I just cannot recall firemen ever coming out to put out fire in their sort of like nations. It's just been like the fire, see, it continues to burn until there's nothing left, like say Uraha, or something like either rain or just I don't know, someone of the Straw Hats or something just ends up putting out the fire. But yeah, either way, it's something new to look there. So it's actually nice to have like a sort of firefighting group, but unfortunately for them, they end up getting their butts whooped by the giant skeleton, which I suppose it does go to show you a threat just because of how big it is. It's able to swat a giant, let's see, flying ship out of the sky and send them all flying. Granted, I don't know if like these firefighter giants might not actually be any warriors and just, of course, firefighters, so they might not necessarily be strong, but nevertheless, the imagination dreams at least getting to show a little bit of the sort of strength and skill they have by swatting like a, let's see, a ship out of the sky, if you will. I do like seeing all the giants' response to like the monstrous skeleton. It's like Yeah, Dory, Etsy, Kashi, and Zhao just going like, what? Etsy just being shocked by something so big. Because normally, I guess, giants are so used to being the biggest ones out there, they've never really seen anyone that seemed bigger than them, except maybe like ancient giants. So, yeah. So, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how the skeleton plays out. We'll see in the future. Anyway, on to the next part of the chapter. We've got Saint Summers. Oops, hold on a sec. I'm just gonna refresh my page so I can read it properly. You got him laughing and eating his food and going like laughing about how shocked those giants were when they got stabbed by the thorns. As he says that, it's just like the famous saying, every love has its thorns. Gunko, as we see that he, along with Gunko and why is always oh yeah. His name is arguably going to be the hardest. It's you get like Shepherd just saying about Summer Shepherd going like oh, you're so apathetic, Guko. Goes on about how love is passion to reach out and squeeze someone tight, even as you see the thorns up close. And he goes on about how this is the best part of the game. Parents will hug their kids tight with thorns and all, and then the kids scream and wail. And when they see their worst nightmare, mummy and daddy dying in agony, says that there's no real emotion, no real emotion in the killing, as we get like his speech bubble that says Saint Soma's thorn fruit thorn mask, as he is just like pulling out his armors while he's eating, showing his abilities, if you will. Soma's going like death by love, isn't that just exciting? Pretty, but Gunko remains silent and he just goes like no interest, woman who never knew love, as he falls back on his like chair and lands to the floor. But Rimanush goes like sorry, Rimo let's see, and ends up asking York Gunko, what route did she go pick and all that stuff, and saying that as she reveals that they went down a thick branch and ran down the middle, showing her as she's munching and talking, say if they walk straight the way, they will reach the village's sea clouds, as we get her showing like a little chibi map of like the hours of where they're going, showing where they're leaving from the war school, past the library to the western village, and eventually to a port so they can take them and leave, if you will. Saint Summers goes like the one, the middle one's Korg stands back out, going on about how it makes their utility futile all the more apparent. With Ryushu saying it seems I need a bit more salt, which gets Saint Summers sort of thinking that about salt, and then Rimamoshi uses his abilities on him and he falls asleep, creating a cloud in which Saint Kilgam yeah he goes and cloud trying to find the soul, as we learn that his get an introduction as it's the dragon fruit mythical type model, see manifesting man, if you will, as we get a name of the devil from Kieran, and this model is one that puts people to sleep and allows to create their dreams into reality, if you will. is telling Summer that he can wake up now. With let's see, Saint Summer's going like snork. As you hear him say, "What about the sleep tids you pulled out of those rat's dreams?" As let's see, Killigam goes on about saying, "I can keep going at the same time, of course. The salt goes perfectly with the meal." And Gunko talking about how she would like to try some as well. Anyway, as they go back to speaking on the Giants about the village, with Gunko just having the time of her life eating, as the two are talking about how apparently they draw rainbows in the sky with those painted rocks, as Gunko's going like delicious. Let's see, as she declares it a real unique culture they got. As Ramanosuke says that all they have to do is tell those kids and totally laugh. You know, it's probably do that waiting after joining the world government, but yeah. And Saint Thomas looking shocked, saying basically we've won already. Saying thinking it's too easy, declaring this a baby's game for babies. With Gunko saying, let's see, she feels very full now, and this is all like asks if it's like 0 calories. With yeah, going like, wait, hold on, did I say that right? No, I remember, my mistake. Killingham goes on about how telling that, with Gunko then going like saying not to worry, Summer, saying that's how there will be trouble. There will be trouble, as she says that she saw a pirate ship moored on the sea clouds to the village, saying that the Emperor of the Sea, Straw Hat Luffy, is here, which seems to surprise Summers to go like. So while someone at least goes a little bit shocked, saying how, wait, the kids are walking the fire, with another saying, you didn't expect this. Telling them not to try and worry. They die if we can send more, if you will. So yeah, that's basically the third part of the chapter, which is basically the Guards Knights having. I'm actually just loving the fact that the Guards Knights are just casually eating food and all that stuff while Summer's just having fun and trying to get Gunko to crack a smile, but she's having none of it. She's all business and no nonsense, if you will. So I just like the little interaction. Their little interactions kind of reminds me a little bit of Kakashi and Guy, where Guy would try to get Kakashi to focus on him, and Saint Summers, I will admit, is talking about everything love has thorns and all that stuff. It's clear that, let's see, with his sort of style of talking, he is either being set up as an opponent for Scapa Gaban to fight, or who I would probably more prefer is Sanji, because it seems like all of them have like this passion of love in some sort. So granted, Sanji and Scapa Gaban are more like loving like other people, particularly the ladies, if you will, but just loves to use people's love for each other and to make one another hurt themselves, as he is. We finally got like a confirmation that his devil fruit is the thorn fruit, and clearly, let's see, it's based on, let's see, every rose has its thorn sort of situation, which roses are heavily featured with love, so it's like hold on. Let's see. Let's see. So that's sort of like for every Frozo's Warn situation. So let's see, the more someone loves a person, the thorns will come out and hurt them. So it's like, arguably, it's like the perfect weapon to use to kidnap, I guess you could say, children, because like parents, if they try to touch or hug or do anything, let's see, try and rescue their kids, they will get physically injured. So yeah, I do like that little ability. And I do like that we got confirmation that let's see, Killiam is actually a mythical dragon, and it is the Kirin, but it seems to have like a dream abilities, which arguably these devil fruits that are popping out seem to have like two abilities with let's see, Saint Soul to like control the vines and have them attack, and even have like a sort of security like check on them and all that stuff when if someone tries to go rogue or something. But yeah, or use it to like prevent others from rescuing someone. But yeah. So I just like that. So that was kind of like fun to see. It means that this character could probably get a bit creative and a bit broken. Let's see, making dreams to reality. That is definitely two abilities there. I'm curious if there is an actual dream fruit, but who knows? But yeah. So we do have that. But yeah, other than that, other things I like is, well, besides the Gunko, just not giving Summers the time of day with like his ridiculous behavior. You've also got her just enjoying the food and meal, if you will. And in many ways, these powers do suit the world nobles, if you will, because like while these are very strong and broken abilities, it's so far allowed them to just sit back and relax and not get their hands dirty, which sounds like a very world noble thing to do, as they don't really like getting their hands dirty. So yeah, we've only really seen the five elders take action. That's only when like someone could really damage them. But yeah, that's it. You're probably gonna get more of these world nobles losing their titles and maybe see the aftermath of their constant attempts of trying constant attempts. So I've kind of forgotten where I was leading with that. Hold on. Give me a second, it'll come to me. Oh, no, let's see, the fort has been lost. Oh, yes, the Guards Knights got, let's see, five elders getting their hands dirty now. Like, you know, the Guards Knights will probably have to get their hands dirty at some point. So, yeah. But at the moment, they're just relaxing, enjoying their meal, discussing calories, and then just trying to quip jokes at each other. I do like the confidence Saint Summers has about how this game is too easy if like just let's see if they just have to just take one kid to the Holy Land and all that stuff, because at the moment the giants can't really touch them. They can't deal with the monsters. This game is going quite easily as planned. But yeah. Now granted, the fire, I do like how the fire to the direction that Gunko has set up and sort of explained, if you will. They'll be going past the western village to the port, but let's see. But now that their path is on fire, but they're not concerned enough kids used as hostages. So, but yeah, let's see. It's completely lack of regard for these kids, if you will. Hold on a second. I just need to check something. No, let's see. I'm mistaken. Anyway, we cut to like the last part of the chapter where Juden cursing Loki's name at him, going like, go on, Juden, try and stop me, laughing. Let's see, with him go like, let's see, going on about how no, but no, you can't possibly stop me. You can't even lift Ragnar, which is his hammer. With Gerd saying, I just hope no one gets hurt in the Sun World. As Loki just continues to go on as the other giants surround them. Seeing how the things will only spread further, so he tells them to make their do the last cuff and free me. But before that continues, Sanji just asks Luffy, saying, "What's just stop him?" But he continues saying how all choose death. Weaklings in the Sun World. As Loki saying that if you want to as he's talking about how he only takes the lives of the weak, but yeah. Answer, but her Jordan says, well, all right, wait. As Loki smiles about what his brother's about to do, but Retzi reminds Hadrian, saying, don't get scared, suck it in, Hadrian. Let's see with him coming on him, Retzi recognizing Zoro. As Luffy goes like, I guess I gotta do it. If he can move, I'll stop him, saying that was the deal. Hadrian is saying a bit shocked by saying, wait, Straw Hat. He'll electrocute you if you don't get too close. So clearly he seems to feel like, well, then that's your, and I hear that's your answer. So he's lifting up the hammer. Gerd's going like, stop this, Loki. If you hit the children, saying there's no turning back. But Zoro's now telling Luffy to, granted, depending on which it's a translation, saying, see with the Viz one, saying, make sure you go easy on him, Luffy. Or go like, oh, his wounds will get, will get worse. Oh, sorry. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah. Let's see, which is a bit different than Zoro, I think, in the unofficial translations, telling Luffy not to go easy on him and give him hell, if you will. Luffy declares a come gun attack, but Loki this one as as Luffy attacks with an armor balloon in gear 3. He starts to fall, shocking the giants as Adrian lands on the forward face of the floor in a similar manner that you saw him fall during Dressrosa. So a nice little homage there, with the Straw Hats all surrounding him. Let's see, so yeah, he's collapsed with Zoro looking on. Oops. I'm just scrolling through. Let's see, sometimes seems to have passed, just so going like he was really at death's door already. Let's see, talk about how he was summoning all the strength left and hadn't used it and tried to use it on a gamble of unchaining him. But he would have escaped so that he could collapse somewhere in secret. With someone shouting, saying, I just can't imagine that working blood he's lost. Referring to like injuries with Zoro and saying to Luffy, saying things up to Luffy to whether to let it to heal him or let him die. But Luffy, without hesitation, says, I have business with Loki too, but I've had to wait until I saw the blood, until I saw how bloody he is. With Rhodes saying how this is true, that whoever attempted to kill Loki is a separate incident from the matter of his own country, which he's thinking, I might know who I was able. Are you thinking of Black Collar people he's worked before? when it comes to like magic and all that kind of stuff. So you got that. But Luffy ends up shouting, please, let's see, help him out a little. I don't want him to die. He is. But you get Hajuden staring coldly because it's like, well, this is probably the healing him up. Let's see, got him some of those blood bags, saying it'll probably take months as God says if you really want to see him recover, you shouldn't leave him in a place like this. But Loki says like, well, someone else, if he's taken to the village, it'll only lead to more cause for. He's an irredeemable scumbag. But Luffy goes like, notices the horns on Loki, and they're not actually a helmet, but they're actually his horns attached to his head, going like how. So Julian after he's gone, we see him. So he was tall even back then. Beat the living daylights of Luffy with his friends at the time, saying, I can't believe this tiny weakling is supposed to be my big brother. Going like how you're just a bastard, you're not a father's legitimate son. With as you go of sort of intervene to prevent him from doing stuff, where they tell him to wait, tell him not to lose control, if you will. But Hirjin is like, they all say I went and killed Dad, but that with pure mood in my heart. Loki, we learn that only Loki can lift a hammer, giving him more. But and I do like how Loki is just using the threat of like the lightning and fire to spread if you do not free him and all that stuff. So I do like Gerd's concern for the people of the Sun World. So she is a doctor, so that makes sense. Let's see. So I do like how Sanji has not yet also picked together the pieces there. The fact that this giant is Loki, even though he's probably as Loki just go. Do like how Hidulan seems to completely not to forget that Luffy, being made of rubber, will not be immune to lightning attacks, but Loki's just like ready to try and do another strike, but you got seems to admit that his bluff. will. I'm back, so I'm sorry about that. But was I? Yeah. So the thing let Luffy up to the side, but Luffy just goes like he wants to as he's like wants business to him. He wants to keep him alive, telling Julian that just do this favor him. Betsy Rhodes does the logical. Was too weak, and you got like due to this past memory, so Julian wants to sort of execute him. He offers a lot. But he tries to go on, and you're really sure you actually believe that for Sanji, I guess. Curious to see who'll be Zoro's opponent then, but let's see. Only to Fritzy. Childhood together as well. Loki bullied her. Like, at the very least, as evil intent, if you will. So build up, let's see the height. Star Saber signing off. Thank you for listening in, everyone, and goodbye.